Rudd Larsen here for the Dreamcatcher podcast. Actually, I'm recording this on a beautiful Thanksgiving day. Cool, but really not too bad for this time of year. So it will be pretty brief podcast, but I just thought I'm going to do things that I'm thankful for. And I'm thankful for past Thanksgivings. My family has always gotten together. We used to get together down in Upland, Nebraska, with my aunt hosting it. Cousins, aunts, and uncles, everybody were there. It was in church basement. Um, very simple. We'd have a lot of food because everybody brings so many different things. And then in the afternoon we'd kind of just sit around the table and talk and play silly games that some that we still do. Actually, one game we did last Christmas when we had Cheryl and I had it here at our house. But I'm just thankful for having had that with my upbringing. I've been very, very blessed. It's just things have changed. A lot of the people are gone now. Actually, we're not doing Thanksgiving except for we're doing one down in Lincoln, Nebraska, with my aunt this coming Sunday, if the weather cooperates. But thankful that still have my aunt because my other aunt and my mom have passed. My grandparents are gone. Um, just so many of the family members are gone. My sister's still here. My dad is still here, and so blessed on that. But I am thankful that I grew up and had that part of experience in my life before technology took over. The phone and this phone, which I'm recording on, is great technology, but I think people use it too much to avoid the reality that they could be experiencing. Like what I just explained to you, what I had in my childhood. I do see more people just having the AirPods in and having their phone on, in and avoiding experiences, avoiding people. And I'm here to tell you that when you look back on your life, um, those experiences will get you through some days because life can get really tough. And I'm so blessed that I live in a day and age where my wife, who has had numerous health issues over the years, has been able to have the medical experience of these doctors to be cured. And so I'm very blessed on that. But I'm also I'm just glad that I because my family still gets together and celebrates Christmas. But I just see so many people missing out on what is actually reality. And because it's family, it's friends, good friends. um it's people, and we're social animals. And I was talking to a lady the other day where people have problems because they aren't forming the social connections that they may have in the past, such as myself. um because the social connections are what get you through. It's what got us through when Cheryl and I were having terrible times with her illnesses, with the expenses, because those people, so many people, stood up and helped us out. They took a stand, and very blessed that they did that because some of that I don't know if we could have gotten through, and I don't know mentally, or if I or Cheryl could have gotten through it without all these people standing up and helping us out. Um, it is just, it's so great, and I, am so glad that I live in Nebraska, and people are like, "What's in Nebraska?" Nebraska has a lot of nice people, and that's one thing. I talked to a gal yesterday at the Y, and her and her husband just moved from California, and, she said, "Everybody here is so friendly and nice here," and that was our slogan not too long ago in Nebraska. We are nice, and we are. People still connect. I mean, it might be a little bit different in the cities in Lincoln and Omaha, but outstate where I'm at, South Central Nebraska, people do. People still go and do kind of like it used to be, and I think we need to get back to that. And I also talked to another person that was bringing back the table, and I thought that was interesting because we used to get around the table, Thanksgiving table, the dining room table, the kitchen table, whatever table it was, and have connection, and the parents would talk to the kids and vice versa, or but now we go our ways. Like on Thanksgiving today, I'm sure there'd be people getting together, and there are people still doing what I did when I was growing up, but there are people that are looking for their Black Friday specials and listening on their AirPods to avoid talking to their relatives and friends. And really, they're doing a disservice to themselves because those are the things when you get closer to the end of your life, you will see they count. And I'm not for sure what they'll have. You know, and somebody would say, "Yeah, you're getting old," and I just know that I see so many people that are sad and that are struggling with life, and life can be a big struggle. It can definitely be a big struggle, but I'm just glad God gave me the voice to do this podcast and do these, just speak. And he also tells me I'm going to be doing a lot more of it. I'm not sure what he has in planned in store for me, but I'm honored that he thinks that. Um, but you know, uh, just be thankful and do the things. Make the cookies with your kids, make memories, and leave the phones. Put the phones away. People can wait. They don't need to be told, that whatever they need to be told, or talk right away. It's more important to be in the moment. And there's a big problem with that in the United States, and I maybe other parts of the United States where we're not in the moment, and I'm guilty of that too. In fact, I find it very hard to be in the moment, and I think, "Wow, how did I get to this point?" Um, like today, Cheryl and I are just we've been having coffee, and I'm just making my shortbread bar that, if anybody knows me, knows I make it quite often. I could do it in my sleep, but making memories, and we're just gonna chill today, and we're going to see how and think about how blessed we truly are. Um, I'm able to be outside doing this podcast. I mean, the wind's not blowing like a few days ago, like it was like a hurricane a couple days ago. Um, but it's beautiful. I mean, it's seasonally cold, cool, but I don't have a coat on, and I just this morning did a podcast with a gentleman from Pakistan, and his podcast drop will be Monday, this coming Monday. But he is amazing man. He's taken on with the help of the people he's gotten together to feed all these children, these orphans, and he boards them. And he told me they get minimum 5 fruits a day, and now he's going to take on families, other people that are having issues with food security or water. He said clean water is clean cold water is a challenge in Pakistan, and I admire he has learned English. He learned English, I think, maybe for the podcast, because I know he's struggled over the time with a little bit of English, and I struggled with his too, because he was giving me words that I needed to learn, and it's like I am not ready to do a podcast with him in his that language. So, but he on the podcast today he invited me to his wedding. He's getting married in November 2026, and I'm honored. It will be interesting to see what the journey of being able to go to Pakistan is, but um I told him I will be there if I can be there, and I am honored. And that is what it's about. And this tool can be, I wouldn't know him if it weren't for the tools that we have. But it's kind of like AI. AI can do so many good things, but it can also do so many terrible things. Kind of like everything. I guess you have to have the yin and yang, because if you don't have the bad, you don't know what's good. And kind of like if you don't have bad weather, you don't know what's good weather. So, all in perspective, and and it is in perspective of this technology, which is a gift, but it can also be a burden. But don't give up, like the memories I have of my past Thanksgivings or Christmases, because usually Cheryl and I have Christmases here, and I don't know for sure. We haven't talked about that yet. Um, but we've made many memories, and it's all about memories and connections and love, and yeah, it's just don't let the hype get the best of you. I mean, they want you, and I can understand businesses needing to have customers. I think it's too bad that we've concentrated so much on shopping. Like somebody said from another country, it's like you do Thanksgiving and thankfulness on Thursday, and then you go out there and go buy more stuff because you don't have enough stuff. And then you're like sometimes savage animals when you're trying to get this stuff, which more than likely it's a good deal, but how much do you really need another big flat screen TV? You know, I don't, yeah, I'm not going to judge. Maybe you do. I mean, if there was a great deal on a new phone, I might. This phone's getting to be, it's been a great phone, but I don't think I would do the getting up. I know I wouldn't. And Cheryl and I were talking about that. My wife, we were talking about she'd gone, I think, with my sister in law. I think they'd gone out to Black Friday activities one day and said it wasn't worth it, and the people are, and they were kind of surprised how few people were out. And maybe that's a trend that's starting to take hold. I think people are actually waking up to what's important in life. And it is people. And I know I've said that numerous times in this podcast, but it is. And health. If you don't have health, you don't have anything. And that is one thing with Cheryl's health scares over the years. We definitely know that. Um, very, very much. Blessed that she's still here and doing well. So, but it just take time this Thanksgiving, and this will actually go after Thanksgiving, this holiday season, I should say. Um, Spend time with family. Get rid of the phones for a while. Yeah, depend on the phones, but they can be put away for quite a while. And once after you get used to that, it's kind of nice not having them around. And I mean, I add to the content here on social media and everything, but just you can listen to whatever the podcast, my podcast, whatever you need to, or the latest gadget that you think you need on Black Friday. You can always look at that later. You may not be able to have that later with somebody else that you care for, or maybe somebody that you're just meeting for the first time and you eventually do care for them a lot. You know, um, I think that's why there's a lot of mental health issues in this country, and especially with younger kids that aren't doing the connections. And I do think I can't remember which country just put in that kids couldn't do social media until 15. I would think that might be a very good direction to go in the United States. Um, it's possible to not have the phones with the kids, and we did. I grew up without these weren't even invented yet, and survived very well. So I'm not going to get preachy, but just I just keep thinking how blessed I am to have had this life that I've had, and I hope continue to have for quite a while yet. The friends, family, what I've gone through has made me into the man that I am today. And I'm very, very thankful for God putting me through some of these trials and tribulations to make me who I am. And like I've said in past podcasts, strength training is done by trials and tribulations. You don't know how strong you can become until you go through some of these things. And you just got to know you will get through it with God's help. So, so on that, I'm going to end. I said this was going to be a very short podcast. And I send blessings to everyone and sending love to you as all. So on that, take care. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Dreamcatcher podcast. And until next time, see you.